Hey there, millionaire. We've all dreamed of hitting the jackpot. In our wildest dreams, this big win is all about seeing all those zeros in our bank account and imagining all the ways you can spend your newfound millions. But lottery winners don't always go quite smoothly in real life. In this video, we'll be letting you in on the most shocking lottery winner stories of all time that you won't believe are real. So strap in, because it's going to be a wild ride, and number one will surely blow your mind. Number 11. The winner of two $10 million prizes. It's rare enough to win the lottery once, and winning it twice is nearly impossible. In 2019, Juan Hernandez went home $10 million richer thanks to a New York lottery scratch-off game. Most of us would have stopped there, but not Hernandez, who kept playing as usual. It turned out to be a pretty good decision if you ask me. He hadn't even finished spending his first win when he won again just 3 years later in February 2022. He'd played a different game this time, but got the same results. Another $10 million win. I wonder what his lucky charm is. Number 10. The $5 million mistake. Even if you play the lottery, it can be hard to win it. Now imagine winning by mistake. In 2017, a 46-year-old mother of two decided to buy a $1 scratch-off ticket on a whim while she was in the supermarket. But when she was given her purchase, she realized the clerk had accidentally handed her a $10 set-for-life scratch-off instead of the $1 ticket she asked for. Since she felt bad for the clerk, she decided to pay the extra $9. Then, she went home and pretty much forgot about it, using the ticket as a bookmark instead. Luckily, the story doesn't end there. After a few weeks, she decided she might as well scratch off her expensive ticket, and she was shocked by what she found. She'd won $5 million and became an immediate multi-millionaire. I bet that extra $9 is the best money she ever spent. Number 9. The lottery lawyer. You probably think your luck has peaked if you win the lottery, but you never know what's waiting around the corner, so you just have to be careful. If you happen to meet Jason J. Curlin, more likely than not, your good fortune would come to an end. He called himself the lottery lawyer and began acting as an attorney to dozens of significant lottery winners, including the record-breaking $1.5 billion Mega Millions winner. Unfortunately, none of these winners realized this man was actually stealing millions from them by convincing them to make investments in his friend's bogus companies. The story is a bittersweet ending, though. He was caught and convicted for conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering, but only after stealing an estimated $80 million. Unfortunately, none of the lottery winners saw a dime back, so be careful who you trust. Number 8. You've heard the expression, cleanliness is next to godliness? Well, for this Floridian, cleanliness has led to prosperity. Kenneth Morgan of Jacksonville was cleaning up his house one weekend when he came across a $1 million Powerball ticket from 3 months ago. I was cleaning the house on the 4th of July when I found the Powerball ticket in a drawer, said Morgan to Florida lottery officials. I checked the numbers and discovered it was a $1 million winner. I'm still in shock. Morgan won the prize from the multi-state lotteries game April 17th drawing in 2021, hitting all 5 white ball numbers, but not the Powerball jackpot number. His ticket was purchased at a Publix liquor shop on Beach Boulevard in Jacksonville, which received a $1,000 bonus commission. Number 7. The generous grandma. It's important to be generous, no matter how much you have. 86-year-old Marion Forrest had been buying her Fantasy 5 lottery ticket every weekend at the same store for years, except for one week, where she didn't really feel like playing. The clerk, who knew Marion, mentioned there was a $500,000 jackpot at the time and convinced her to buy the ticket. She agreed on the condition that she'd share the winnings with him if she won. Unfortunately, the clerk was mistaken. The jackpot wasn't close to that much money, but he was right that Marion would win. Thanks to that ticket, she found herself $300 richer and insisted on keeping her word. As promised, she showed up at the store with balloons and $150 for the clerk. Imagine if the clerk was right about the prize. That would have been truly life-changing. Number 6. The lottery crooks. Remember one thing, millionaire: crime doesn't pay. That's what Mark Goodrum and John Watson found out the hard way. They were just two friends in their 30s who went to London looking to make a fortune, and they did. Well, almost. They managed to win an incredible £4 million prize playing the lottery, which is about $5.3 million. But they weren't so lucky as they thought to be. Of course, they immediately started celebrating. A good choice, because it wouldn't last long. Eagle-eyed people at the lottery realized something was up when they said they didn't have a bank account for their lottery payout. And after digging a little further, police and lottery officials realized they had bought their winning lottery ticket with a debit card that had previously been stolen. A big oops. You see, Mark and John had stacked up a surprising number of criminal convictions between them, which made these two friends a target for local police. In the end, they got apprehended and sent to jail, getting a conviction instead of a jackpot. We've already seen so many ups and downs with lottery winners, and we're only halfway through. The most shocking and unbelievable stories are yet to come, so keep watching. Number 5. The lesson that backfired. Admit it, we all get annoyed with our partners sometimes. This was true for Glenda Blackwell from North Carolina. Glenda wasn't too happy about all the money her husband was spending on lottery tickets, and her irritation boiled over one day. She decided to buy a $10 Carolina Million scratch-off ticket to prove to her husband that he was just wasting their money. But she never got to make her point. Astonishingly, she picked up a ticket that made her an instant millionaire by winning the $1 million grand prize. This story gives new meaning to the question, would you rather be right or happy? She was not right at the time, but definitely was excited. Number 4. The lucky winner who lost his ticket. Sometimes luck is meant to come your way, and the universe will do anything to make it happen. Nick Slayton had a surprisingly good morning when he checked his Tennessee lottery ticket and saw that every single one of his numbers matched. He was suddenly $1.18 million richer. Even though he was ultra excited, he still had to go out and run errands. Unfortunately, when he got back home, he realized he didn't have the winning ticket anymore. For anyone else, this would have been the end of the dream, but not for Nick. He started retracing his steps, looking to find the lost ticket, and it miraculously worked for him. He found the ticket lying in a parking lot an hour later. Now that's lucky. Number 3. The evil washing machine. Not all lottery wins are a good thing. You would think that winning $26 million could be great, but not if you can't prove you won. This unnamed player of the California Super Lotto Plus maybe shouldn't have been the person in possession of the winning ticket. She had put the winning ticket in her pocket for safekeeping, but that turned out to be the worst place to keep it because she accidentally destroyed it in a washing machine. She tried to prove she was the buyer of the winning ticket by going to the store she got it from, and the manager showed surveillance footage showing her buying the ticket. Unfortunately, lottery officials denied her the prize, since without a ticket, or at least a photo of the winning ticket, prizes can't be handed out. If we're honest, we've all done that kind of thing with the washing machine, but it doesn't usually cost us $26 million. I bet you'll never make the same mistake with your lottery tickets. Number 2. The Play School Crooks. Of course, when there's money, you'll find criminals looking to grab a share, but some criminals are just not made for the job. 2 Mississippi men decided to try their luck at cashing in on a $100,000 prize that went unclaimed. Their only problem was that they didn't have the winning lottery ticket. That didn't stop them though, since they decided to make one. Unfortunately for them, it didn't take a forensic expert to spot that their ticket was a fake. Officials at the lottery office just took a couple of seconds to determine their ticket was an absolute joke. It wasn't hard since these men had just stuck numbers to the ticket with ordinary glue. You heard that right. They had cut out numbers and pasted them on the ticket with glue. It's alright, you can laugh about these dumb crooks. In the end, it's not quite the work of a criminal mastermind, but nonetheless, they were convicted for fraud. Terrible way to go down in lottery history. And number 1. The story of Bill Morgan. Bill Morgan's story is so unbelievable, it could slot right into mythology. But before the Australian man could get his big break, he had to go through a pretty rough ordeal. That is, he had to come back from the dead. In 1998, Bill was driving his truck like any other day, except this wasn't just any day. It was the day he was going to die. He was involved in a truck accident that was so horrendous that it very nearly crushed him. Impossibly, he survived the crash but suffered a heart attack instead. He was rushed to the emergency room, where doctors administered what should have been a life-saving drug, not knowing Bill was severely allergic to it. That drug was what finally caused his heart to stop beating, and eventually Bill died. But miraculously, 14 minutes later, doctors finally managed to bring him back, but not completely though. He was alive, but totally unresponsive. After a week of being comatose, doctors advised his family to take him off life support, to which they chose not to listen to. Little did they know, that was the best decision they ever made. On the 12th day, against all odds, Bill woke up, and that was where his lucky streak began. Somehow, he came out of his coma without any serious health problems. He rightfully felt pretty great to be alive, so he proposed to his girlfriend, who delightfully accepted. That would have been enough of a story, but it doesn't end there. This is just getting started. A little while later, he picked up a scratch-off ticket at a whim and instantly won a car. Of course, the media picked up on this amazing story pretty quickly, and a news show asked Bill to do a reconstruction of his lottery win on live TV. While filming a reenactment of his win, Bill purchased another scratch-off ticket that would prove to be his biggest surprise yet. Live on national TV, Bill scratched off this ticket and discovered that he'd reconstructed his lottery win a little bit more realistically than anyone expected. That ticket was a winner, and Bill walked away with 250,000 Australian dollars. The whole story seems impossible, but the camera doesn't lie. Bill Morgan immediately became one of the luckiest lottery winners in history.